Hey everybody, it's Mahadeva, the OG Thunder Wizard, and welcome back. Go here, maushan.thunderwizard.com, because the metal element has now been uploaded. It's ready for you to learn. So we have two of the five elements. We have wood, and now we have metal. So let's talk a little bit about what the metal element is about and what it does. So if you've watched this video here of me doing the Maushan at full speed, that's the metal right there, the end of the metal set. Now we're going into the fire there. So the way that these elements work, when you're using them in the spirit fighting form, which is it can be used for multiple things. It obviously, you can see that it looks a lot like a martial art because it can be used as a very devastating martial art. I'm not teaching you that, but those same forms are also shamanic forms, moving forms that allow you to connect to the forces of the universe. Specifically, if you go to maushan.thunderwizard.com, I am teaching you the 5 element forms. And in these 5 element forms, you are learning how to tap into the almost never discovered energy source within the human body. Even very advanced yogis and qigong masters never tap into this power. They tap into the chi, which is the life force energy. They tap into the kundalini, which is the spiritual, psychological energy. But there's a third energy, which is the Shin, or the heart mind, which is the lightning power that surrounds the soul. And when you're able to tap into this energy and release it through the body, one of the things you are able to do is to defeat negative energies. But what we use it for is self-evolution, and we work towards becoming immortals, like the Taoist masters of old. So the metal element is to help balance the wood. So normally the elements go in a certain cycle, and that cycle that you normally see goes from starting here in the left side, which is the upside down, it's the east. You go wood, fire, earth, water, wood, fire, metal, water, earth, right? That's how it normally goes. But when you use it for spiritual cleansing, it goes in a different sequence, and you can see that here. I've put the arrows here. The arrows here, so you can see. It goes from wood to metal to fire to water to earth. So wood is destroying the earth. Earth keeps things down, so this would be the aspect of you that keeps things grounded. But when something in you needs to come out, when you need to expand and create, the wood bursts through the earth. It overcomes the earth. Now the wood, when it gets too plentiful in nature, it becomes a fire hazard. And so in order to keep the wood in place, first thing you do is you chop down the wood. You get rid of, if there's too many trees and bushes, you get rid of them. So the metal element allows discernment, because the wood is expansive. Each one of these elements, they're not really elements in the Greek philosophical sense of the word, which is, that's what the Greeks, when they talked about elements, they were talking about physical properties that made up the universe. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about how energy moves and functions in three-dimensional reality. Wood is expansive. It has to do with your boundaries, with your sense of self, with your ego, with your identity. So those of you who have done it, you've been doing the wood for a while, you can feel an expansion in your sense of self. Now, metal is contraction. Air. Metal and air are the same element. In the Taoist, they call it metal. In the Western understanding, they call it air, but it's the same thing. When you inhale, which would be wood, you fill yourself with life force energy, with the feeling of spirit, with power, with identity, and then you have to exhale or you'll explode. That is the contraction. So the metal, when the wood gets too full of itself, the metal starts to chop it down. So this is what we do in spiritual warfare. If somebody's coming at you with wood, you chop it with metal, which is discernment. It gives you the ability to discern. It gives you the ability to see things for what they are. And so this is what you're going to be learning in the metal set, which again, if you watch this from the very beginning, you see me doing the very last part of the metal set. So I've actually slowed it way down in this new metal set that I've just uploaded here. I've slowed it way down. So I've slowed it down to 25%, so you really get an opportunity to watch every single movement. And then I have another video where I explain in detail exactly what you're doing, what you're focusing on. The other thing that is important to understand with this particular tradition, this particular Shan tradition, the Grand Master who created the 5 element sets, he just recently passed away, but this was a new channeled form of this practice, which I found to be amazing. And I can't put into words the amount of respect and admiration and gratitude I have that the Grand Master came up with these 5 element sets. But there's something that I just recently learned, which is that these 5 element sets aren't just dealing with the 5 elements. They're dealing with the 5 elements as they relate to the Shin, the heart mind. So the heart mind is technically fire. It is the lightning, the feminine lightning that surrounds and protects the masculine soul, protects it from the harshness of 3-dimensional reality, and protects 3-dimensional reality from the infinity of the soul. It's called the king's bodyguard. This is why it's associated with not only physical martial arts, but spiritual martial arts, because it's the lightning that you use, the thunder magic that you use to destroy demons and negativity. It's also the most powerful and the fastest way to evolve inside of your own heart, your own sense of self. It's like I said, for me, it's the most powerful, the most beautiful, the most empowering practice I've ever found. So when you go here, if you haven't done so already, you'll notice that there is a discount. Now, every time I upload an element, right now we've only uploaded 2, the price goes up, because eventually the price is going to go all the way up to its normal price. But until then, if you get this package now, I will give you a significant discount. Now, I've just put up the metal, but eventually I'm going to be putting up fire, water, and earth. I'll be putting them up a little faster. I've already made the videos. I'm just holding off, letting people save their money to be able to purchase the entire thing. And this is going to be used in conjunction with the thunderwizard.com site, the 90-day challenge. So for those of you who are doing this, it is a requirement that you also are subscribing at the Warrior 90-day Lightning Qigong. That is going to be the place where it is going to be the university for the Shan spirit fighting sorcerer tradition. I'm going to do everything in my power possible to teach you through YouTube and online everything I know about this tradition. And so you're going to need to be associated with that if you want to get the whole tradition. Now, if you don't want to do this, not a problem. There are plenty of people who are doing the 90-day lightning qigong who already know what I'm talking about. I don't need to convince them. They can convince you. The power that they are experiencing, the tremendous evolution that they're experiencing as a result of releasing the lightning from within. Until you do it, you won't know what I'm talking about. So that's it. Just want to announce that if you go to maoshan.thunderwizard.com, we have a second element. We have the metal element, which will be here to combat the wood. Now that you've got the wood nice and powerful, now we can get the metal in there, which will then bring some discernment, some refinement to that energy. And then we'll bring in the fire, the water, and the earth. Once we have all those 5 elements, and I continue to teach more and more things here on the lightning qigong, then we're going to get into the phase 2. And there's things, adjustments that I'm going to bring, and eventually I will go ahead and teach all of the sets that I learned on video. It's a little frightening to say that. As you can see, if you watch some of the stuff that we're doing here, some of these sets can get pretty technical, but I will do everything in my power to teach them in a way that you can experience them from watching videos. And of course, if you notice, when you purchase the 5 elements, you get a maximum of 2 hours per set with me. So when you have practiced it and you've memorized it, when you're ready, there's no time limit, when you're ready, then you can contact me and we will set up some times where we will take it 1 hour at a time, and I will, through Skype, help you get your sets as perfect as you can. And then we'll see when lockdowns are over and the international travel is back up again. Maybe people can come. Hopefully I'll still be here in the beautiful rainforest here of Queensland, Australia, and maybe you guys can come here and we can have live seminar teachings. But one thing at a time. We've got wood down, now you have metal. So that's it. Thank you to everybody for the support that you've given, and thank you for everybody who has shared with me the tremendous, overwhelming evolution that I'm seeing in people's lives as a result of doing this extremely sacred gift given to us by these Maoshan Grandmasters. So that's it. I'll see you guys when I see you. Take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you all very soon.